What's up, family? Hello, family. I was um I was getting ready. I was preparing for a speech the other day, and it was on your story, telling your story, which I do that a lot. As far as tell your life story, and how we each all have a unique life story, and I'm preparing for it. Excuse me, I'm in the attic. I'm gonna have to turn the fan on. I hope it's not too loud. I hope it's not too loud. Um, so as I'm preparing for it, you know, we live our own stories, but a lot of times we don't take time to examine our story. We just live it. And a lot of times, the only time you review or it gets reviewed is when you pass. When somebody's giving you a eulogy, then they write this great biography and tell your whole story. But the reality is, when you were living it, you never talked about it, right? So I was just writing down, some notes as I was preparing this keynote about the power of your story and writing your own story. And I was looking at my story, and I said, this is a great tool that we all need to do because we just never do it. When you look back on your life, or you look at your moves, or you see how one move set up the other move, or even at the very, very beginning. I learned something about myself. At the very, very beginning, I was lucky because I had an idea by the time I was preteen of what I wanted to do, which was like be a broadcaster, right? So my two goals, my professional goal was to be a broadcaster, and my family goal was I wanted a family like the Cosby Show. And at 54, I look back at my life and I got those things. I did it. And I was thinking, because it was so long ago when I dreamed of being a broadcaster, I realized you got to revamp. You really got to update. That's why it's so important to visualize. It's really is important to write down your goals, your dreams every 5 years, to give yourself new goals, give yourself new expectations, new experiences. And so I made me just write down, what I want my next 20 years to look like, physically, health-wise, family-wise, professionally, financially, and really getting specific. How much money I want to generate. It's in the millions. How much money I want to take home. It's in the millions. Your fitness level, all this stuff. I was like, you know what? Write this down. It gives you something to aim for, and it actually helps you stay focused on the grind because, again, so I knew I wanted to go in broadcasting when I was 10, and I hadn't really revamped that in 40 years, and so it's important to do that. And so, and then the family piece about being the Cosby, I was just thinking how powerful Bill Cosby's legacy really was on our generation. I mean, you had the Cosby Show, which showed us a black family living a nice lifestyle, and beautiful home, and beautiful kids, and beautiful surroundings. You had A Different World, which gave you some insight into the HBCU experience and how important it was that the family feel of an HBCU, and even the supporting cast, the teachers, and everybody on down to the cooks who genuinely cared about your success. Again, where I'm from, Springfield, Illinois, where I was from, I didn't know anything about HBCUs. It made me curious. I wanted to go to Howard. I didn't even know what that meant, but it was based on The Different World. And the same thing with the Cosby Show, as far as that whole New York, that style it just escaped me. What they call those homes in New York. Again, not familiar with it, being from the Midwest, but it was like that was dope. That was dope. And so, these types of images inspired me, and it caused me to aspire to do certain things, and they have a huge impact. And it's the same thing when when you're surrounded with a whole bunch of negative things, right? It's kind of the same thing. You end up being inspired or not inspired because of the thing you surround yourself with. I saw a quote today, and I'll leave you with this one. It was a quote attributed to the late Bruce Lee, and he said, "Be careful of the words that you use. Your words are very powerful. In fact, your words can cause a spell. That's why it's called spelling." I was like, yo, that's dope. That's why it's called spelling, because your words can create a spell, negatively or positively. Take that with you. I don't know. I was all over the place, but thank you for watching. Be good. Peace.